What's up, Creepers and Geekers? Chris, the Atari Creep. How's everyone doing today? I'm going to play a little bit of Devil's Crush because I haven't yet, really. If you know, a while back, we played Dragon's Theory for the Atari.io forums High Score Squad challenge. You can either play this port on Turbo Graphics, or you could play the Genesis version, which is called Dragon's Fury. I didn't have a turbo or a way to play turbo version at the time, so I'm giving this a shot. But more importantly, I want to talk about something. I'm not retracting. I'm not changing my statements. And the fact that I actually have to make a clarification video kind of bothers me. Now, I say have to. I don't have to do shit. You guys can think. You can do whatever you want with whatever information I put out there. Oh, that was bad. And the one thing I really enjoy about my channel is I love to try to stay positive. I love that I can, I think, put forth a different point of view on a lot of these topics that we talk about. Not the norm. I'm positive about most things. I'm not that cynical prick that no matter what has to hate and bag on things. And even when I do a topic that most people do, I try to spin it a little bit differently. Okay? That's what I love about doing this. You know, I don't follow the ass in front of me. There are a few things that I do here and there that are pretty common on YouTube, especially with gaming channels. But, I mean, you can't avoid that. But I put out a video the other day. I'm sure you've seen it. It's getting a shit ton of fucking views. And actually, I think I have the most thumbs down on that video than any video I've ever made in the past 5 or 6 years I've been doing this. Which tells me I'm doing something right. Because fuck it, right? Come on, ball, do something. But I feel like, I don't know, I need to clarify a few things. And I want to start it off with saying, I'd like to think that most people out there that follow content like this are critical thinking, somewhat adults. And that they're fairly bright. And since they can understand the words that are coming out of my toothless mouth, that they understand the use of the English language. Things like words like could be, might be, possibly. I don't know. More importantly, a question mark. Now, the video I did about the Atari buyback program, people seem to think that I'm coming out and talking about, not everybody, I know, I get it. I know there are some people who don't. But they seem to think that I am forecasting imminent doom and gloom on the Atari box. I don't need this buyback program to do that. But we'll get to that in a minute because I want to clarify a few things about my feelings and thoughts on it too. But they're stating that I am coming out saying, okay, well, Atari's doing a buyback program on their stocks or whatever, and that means that the Atari box is definitely not going to come out. When, in fact, if you watch that 3-minute whatever second video, it's very clear that I didn't say any of that, not even a single hint of it. In fact, I went out of my way to avoid that by saying could, maybe, possibly, speculating terms, so to speak. Get up there, oh, you bastard. Now, I did also go out of my way to say, look, I gave you two sources. A forum post at the Atari Age forums and an article. And I clearly stated in the video as well that I'm not sure if it's accurate what the individual in the Atari Age forum posted. I don't know how accurate that is. But I will say that the news of the buyback program is. It's a fact. It's happening. I do have one commenter that's educating me on how buybacks work and all that stuff. And I have looked it up after the fact. And I do appreciate that. I do thank you. But the video was made as far as what I understood at the time about an Atari buyback program, or any buyback program. And to put it as simple as possible, two things could possibly happen when a company starts doing buyback programs. One, best case scenario, they're trying to come up with some cash to supplement something. They're going to buy back as much of their stock as they can to increase funds in hopes to supplement something else, like say the Atari box, the VCS. Other case scenario, they're doing it because they want to grab as much money out of the company they can before they sell it off to somebody and run away with the money. And that's business. That's just how it fucking works, okay? Now, if they were to do the latter, if they were actually just trying to fund up and sell, whoever buys it is under no obligation to continue with the Atari VCS, Atari BOX project. They're under no obligation. And they can contract as such. And if Atari wants to sell and the company doesn't want to fucking do that, they just want the name, and they just want to be able to distribute or license out and do whatever, just sit back on an old name that we all have fucking jollies for because of nostalgia, and make some money on it, then that's their prerogative. They can do that. So I speculated that was an option and asked you, what do you think? Do you think that's a possible thing? Because it is a possible thing, but what do you think about that? Does this scare you, okay? So please, 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 go back and watch it again. Not because I want the views. Hear my language, hear my verbiage, hear my use of certain words. I do it on purpose not to hide. I'm not doing it to, what's the word? Some people say, oh, well, I can't be blamed for how people interpret how I say things. It's a cop-out. That's the word. I don't use it as a cop-out. I use it because that's how I'm thinking. This could happen. Now, do I think it is? Yeah, I still do think it is. I think Atari's trying to back out. I don't think it was. I will say, I said, looks like we have a scam on our hands. I don't believe that still. I think they were just a company that wanted to do something cool, didn't think it through, and they got caught with their pants down, didn't know how to get out of it. I don't think this is Coleco Chameleon fucking level shit. I don't think they're deceptively doing things on purpose. I think they had a great idea, and they just fucking blew their load a little too soon, not realizing what it actually meant to do it, okay? And the evidence in which what has been happening mirrors what I'm saying. It proves what I'm saying. The past fucking month, we've gotten all kinds of updates on shit that we needed updates on about a year ago. They announced this thing, and every step of the way they've dropped the ball. They've said, all right, well, we're going to do pre-orders. And then pre-orders didn't happen. And they're like, we're going to do crowdfunding, but it's, we don't have anything. And then they showed rendering of something working and pretending it was, and then we're like, we're just trying to give you an idea of what it could be. And then they go silent. And then this past month we get two updates, huge updates. And in that meaning, stuff that should have already been thought through. How it's going to be processed. Okay, I can understand changing a chipset or upgrading something to better aid in something. But the fact that people aren't even working on stuff for this because there's no development tools, they can't be. It's pretty troubling at this stage. They want this thing to come out at the end of the year, and they're changing how the thing's processed, how it works. And then worse off, they come out and say, well, remember that idea we had where we wanted to make this sandwich type thing? Well, we're realizing now it's too expensive to do that. And I will admit in that video when I talked about that, because one person said, I don't think you understand what they're doing. I understand completely. I was just pissed off that it took this long for them to realize that. Okay? And I will admit, and I apologize, I didn't say these words. But I understand that, yes, it is going to be cheaper. And I personally think it looks better with the little riser in the bottom. I do. It has more of the Atari 2600 iconic look to it. I don't care about that whole looking like it's floating bullshit. But these are things that should have been thought of already. Long ago. These are early stage things. How much is it going to cost me to tool this? Think about it. Think about it. They took your money. They took your money without even knowing what it was going to cost to produce. They didn't know what it was going to cost to produce because they didn't have anything to produce. Now, if you go back through my playlist, and I have a playlist just on the Atari VCS Atari box, you'll see that all the way through, I've been pretty excited for it to happen. I wanted this to happen regardless of what it became. Even if it was a Ouya, it would just be neat to see this in the world. And if you're like, who wants this? Well, obviously $3 million worth of people do. And whether you want it or not is insignificant to the guy next door that does, okay? If you don't think it deserves a place in the world, that means nothing to nobody but you. And I will never belittle your feelings there. But don't you dare tell someone it doesn't deserve to exist if they want it to exist, okay? But I've always been cautiously optimistic about it, skeptical in a lot of ways. And unfortunately, Atari has proven it all the way through. And you'll notice a shift in tone in my videos when it comes to this thing. Still trying to stay positive and optimistic, but guys, this past month, the flags were there before this past month's updates. We'll call them updates. I'm calling them fucking last rites. And then, of course, there's news with Atari doing things internally, and there's some legal issues going on right now. Guys, it's not looking good. It's not looking good. So I guess the whole point is what I'm saying is I'm not saying it's indefinite. Don't interpret what I say into something that it's not. I use specific language on purpose so that you don't have to do that. Just think of it that way, guys. So I'm going to continue to try to play this game. You know what? Fuck it. Let me finish out the game here with you guys. But that's all I wanted to say. I hate having to make videos like this. I like to stay positive. I like to stay on the up and up. And I like to bring forth information to you that I think you can actually use, enjoy, and do whatever with. But unfortunately, people just don't understand language, apparently. They don't understand what speculation language is, even though that's not really a thing. And I do apologize for having to put this up here. So let me just clarify. Do I think the VCS is coming out? No. Do I think it was a blown-out scam at first? No. Do I think a lot of the things that they've been talking about should have been thought about maybe a year ago? Yes. Should they have at least had this wrapped up before they took your money? Yes. And do I think that this buyback program that they're involved in is indefinitely related to the VCS? No. Never said that. So stop. Fucking stop, okay? For the love of God. Guys, I hope you had a great weekend. I really do. Had a great time live last night doing some meme stuff. Keep your notifications on. I never say shit like that. Go ahead and subscribe and click that bell. And I'm going to be doing a lot of really cool live videos. And I say cool, me playing video games and sucking at them, and you interacting with me. And that's fucking cool. I love that interaction. And that's really all there is to it. So, again, I hope you had a great weekend. Guys, thanks as always so much for, in this case, hearing me out. But always watching. Go ahead and leave feedback. Thumbs up, thumbs down. All feedback to the Creep is positive. I believe that with all my black heart. Until next time, take care. Creep it real. That's right, no hat today. It's how fucking serious I was. And bye-bye.